Minister, thanks for your time. The Prime Minister and the head of the Federal Health Department are painting all issues with the vaccine rollout as supply issues due to the original AstraZeneca shipment from Europe not arriving. Do you believe that's the only issue?
Look, I think that we've got to rely on what the Prime Minister is saying and what the federal health authorities are saying. From the state government's point of view in New South Wales, we are doing what we've been asked to do and we've offered to do more. But obviously, in relation to that offer to do more, we do need to know that we have a very clear supply line. It's quite a big task to set up, for example, a whole new mass vaccination centre and to not only establish it but bring in the staff, make the appointments for thousands of people, because it would be by appointment. So it's a challenge. We need to know that there's certainty.
Does that mean that your state doesn't currently know how many doses of vaccine it will receive in any given week?
I think it's fair to say, I made it pretty clear last week that there's been some challenges around that. But I also understand that the federal government would be having challenges dealing with what is a very problematic situation in Europe. All the state and territory governments are very keen to work with the federal government, but it's difficult if we don't know what the supplies are. It would appear the federal government aren't very sure either.
But we also have domestic manufacturing. Do you find it in any way odd that CSL is unable to give a timetable for how many vaccines it can produce in a week and by what dates?
Yes, I do find that a little mysterious. I know I had the pleasure of seeing Brendan Murphy speaking on your program last night. I learnt quite a bit from watching that program. I think it's fair to say that the communications probably do need to be improved a little bit with each of the states and territories. But having said that, it is challenging for the federal government, I'm sure, at the present time, to know precisely how much vaccine is coming to us from either offshore or onshore. Certainly we were led to believe that CSL in Victoria would be giving us much larger regular supplies, and for whatever reason that hasn't been achieved.
How is it possible as a state health minister that you're learning information from watching 7:30, not being given it directly from primary sources?
7:30 is a very good program, Leigh, very good program, and we do get a lot of our information from you. Look, I think it reflects the fact that the federal government are obviously struggling with trying to do the right thing by the community of New South Wales and indeed Australia, but just having a very difficult time knowing precisely how much vaccine will be available, what quantity, and of course it has to go through all the approval processes, and there was clearly an expectation from some of the earlier statements that they would have a lot more.
Your mass vaccine centre can only work, as you say, if you get the supply that you need. Do you believe the assurances that Brendan Murphy was giving last night that supply is going to be drastically ramped up in the coming weeks?
Look, I think Brendan Murphy is doing the best he can do, as is the federal government, in obviously a situation where it's a little doubtful as to precisely what supplies we will get. But that doesn't mean that very experienced state and territory governments can't set up the infrastructure, the physical infrastructure, to be ready to get the extra supplies of vaccine. But it's another question to have also the staff available, because we have to take staff off our front line, or we have to engage with private companies as well to support our frontline staff. And that means contractual matters for the states, but also it's a big ask to take frontline health staff off their normal duties to come in and take part in a mass vaccination program. It's not easy. So we can do it, but we just need to recognise that there are some frailties in the knowledge at the moment, and we need to hopefully hear some more clarity from the federal government when they get that clarity. But certainly it would be good to have that information come directly to us. Whilst I enjoy watching your program immensely, I would like it to come to us directly as well.
Brad Hazzard, thank you.
Good on you, thank you.
Hi, I'm Leigh Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.